Ooh, I have a warm-up question.
Okay, one more question.
And I've brought it up to you before, but I don't think you remember,
I'm scared.
which is good.
Scared.
So,
I'm so nervous.
opening question for you guys. And there's no right or wrong answer.
Uh-oh. I'm getting nervous.
I'm scared too.
How would you define
My ideal ass.
podcast bro?
How would I describe a podcast, bro?
Or define?
How would you define a podcast, bro?
Yeah.
So I don't really listen to a lot of podcasts that are cultural or really anything that I guess would consist of podcast bros.
Okay.
So I don't really have a good image in my head of what that looks like. All I can think about is what I've seen like on TikTok and Reels.
Yeah.
Which is like the douchebag looking guy. Like just your modern day douchebag. Like, you know?
Yeah. Okay.
Mine's like, the like mansplain Andrew Tate,
Yeah. Yes.
like alpha male to me, like
Yeah.
we should start a podcast, bro. Comes from the guys that watch the like Andrew Tate
Yeah.
sort of stuff and are like,
Yeah.
you know what? I think we have some stuff to say.
Yeah.
But it's also like probably like high thoughts where they're like, dude, I just thought of some like crazy shit. We gotta like, is it okay if I cuss? Is it
No, yeah, it's totally
okay?
fine.
They're like, I just thought of some like crazy shit. Like, I think I'm the first one to think this, and they're like,
Right.
I think water's wet, and you're like, what? What are you talking about?
Yeah.
Like they just like high thoughts or something.
Very like self-important.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It's so funny to me though. But like those guys.
Okay. So it sounds like we're all on the same page.
Yes, the alpha,
Yeah.
the young alpha males.
Because I've given it thought. So it's basically that. So I don't know if you know this. So when the idea came up to do the podcast, I had two instant reactions. One's like, okay, that could be fun. But also at the exact same second, I was like, I don't know if I want to do this. For those reasons, I'm like, it really is a thing where like too many people are starting podcasts.
Yeah, and it's
Not enough of them are like
totally
interesting.
Yeah.
And the problem is that some of them do well. And so they start having like guests on there.
Yeah.
Like
and
the
because these
kids,
people,
like, eating,
yeah.
you know what I'm talking about, the kids that eat on Instagram.
And so like one, they're already
So
self-important. They already have like a platform, so you have to hear about it one way or another. But when they have guests on, sometimes it'll be like someone like I'm a fan of.
Mhm.
So because I'm a fan, like I'll watch or listen to the thing, and it'll be just like a shitty interview because they're not journalists.
Really?
Yeah.
They're not journalists, and they're not. They do lack personalities. So if it's like a musician, they don't know anything about. They don't know too much about the artist, just like a cursory like knowledge of the person, and they're not music fans, so they don't know like what they would ask someone. So it ends up being like a fucking meaningless fucking interview.
That's awesome.
I had those thoughts in my head when we initially talked about it. I'm like, I don't ever want to be like that.
I can't be that person.
I don't want to be
I can't be that guy.
exactly. And so I hope we never do. We'll see how this.
No, you guys are so far from that. You guys are great.
I mean, this is just for fun. Either way, you know what I
Yeah.
mean. It kind of feels like your inner child a little bit. Like when you were way younger, you know, we used to record ourselves and shit like that all the
It's just
time.
fun to
So-
create.
yeah,
It is fun to
there you
create.
go. Yeah,
Yeah.
fun to create.
Yeah.
Totally.
But talking's good for you. Like talking's healthy.
Yes, that too. Like who's it hurting? Ours isn't hurting anybody, but like
Yeah.
getting to some other podcasts can get a little dicey.
True.
Very true. Very true.
We needed to hear that because I've had those dark thoughts.
No, dude. I listen.
Well, more so at the
I'm a
beginning.
listener. I'm number one fan.
Yeah.
Oh,
Come on now.
We have to make him a
Stop.
shirt now.
Yeah. Dude, I need the merch.
We'll make merch, but like it's only for him.
Yeah.
I'm making it at the mall. It's like
Only
at
one
a-
person.
At
It's
the
sold out
stand.
already. Don't ask.
Limited merch. Extremely limited.
Should we explain who this extra person is?
Yeah, let's explain who this extra person is. Who are you, extra person?
Name's Luca Ruscica.
Oh shit.
Whoa.
I'm a dear friend of my friend Curbs.
That's hot.
Yeah.
Yes. And we've become very close, and I've been introduced to my other dear friend that is my dear friend.
Yeah.
Yeah, I make music. I work at a
Nice.
recording studio.
Oh shit.
Record. I play a bunch of instruments, and I love making stuff.
Okay, that's awesome. I really want to know though right now. If you had to produce one female rapper's next album, who would you
Mm.
produce?
That's a good one. Go on.
One female rap. I'm not a Ice Spice.
Oh,
Yeah.
my
Why?
God.
Why her?
I don't know. She's just the only one I can think of right
Okay.
now. I don't really
Okay.
listen to that music.
Valid,
I don't listen to a ton of rap music. But Ice Spice she's got some funny.
She has some funny bars, dude.
Yeah,
Come on.
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
You say poo poo in your bar, you're funny.
does
dude.
say that.
You know what I mean?
Automatically incredible.
I love that. I love that.
Goku and I'm just getting started.
Oh my god.
That's great.
I love that one.
That or like Sexy Red.
Oh hell yeah. What about Doechii?
Ooh, she's actually sick.
Yeah,
She's sick.
very
I do like
versatile.
her stuff a lot. I don't really listen to that like niche.
Mm.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's cool. I dig it. I dig it a lot. I'm into a lot of like singer-songwriter, folky sort of stuff right now.
Nice.
I'm going on the other side of the spectrum.
So hypothetically, if you did get to work with Ice Spice,
Yes.
how would you approach it? Would you have stuff prepared for her? Like, I think you sound good with
No,
this.
this is such a funny hypothetical.
Yeah,
I've never thought about it.
Let's go down that road for a bit.
No, I would wait till I'm with Ice Spice to like.
So you'd ask her, how are you feeling? What do you...
We would get into it together.
Okay.
You know?
So if she says, give me like a hard drill beat. Can you do that?
Yeah, I could throw down a hard drill beat.
Nice.
There
Exactly.
we go.
What the fuck? That was awesome, dude. Holy shit.
Okay. In that hypothetical hangout, so you get the drill beat out of the way,
Yeah.
and she's like, I need something. Give me something new. What would
I would play
new
her
be
like
to you?
a ballad. I would go so opposite. I'd play her like a ballad on the piano and be like,
Yeah. Okay.
Ice Spice, what have the people not heard?
Okay.
We haven't heard a love song from you. We haven't heard. Maybe we have. I don't know.
Kind of, sort of. I see what you mean.
It would be kind of funny to tease Ice Spice, I think, a little bit.
That would be okay. Okay.
I don't know.
No, that's a good answer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like that one.
Thanks.
Is there a female like singer you'd like to work with? It could be anyone.
Yeah, there's so many. I do like Olivia Rodrigo a lot right now.
Okay.
That girl named Lefe or Lafe. Lefe?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
The
I
jazz.
dig her stuff right now too.
Yeah.
It's cool.
Nice.
Yeah. I was telling Curbs the other day.
Yeah.
Good save, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Nice.
Kirby.
Like I hear a lot of people hating on Lefe or Lafe.
What?
Sorry, I'm mispronouncing that.
We love you, girl.
Yeah, seriously. I hear a lot of hate that's like, this. Why would you listen to this or instead of Ella Fitzgerald or with like old jazz? Why don't you
Okay.
listen to, like the real thing? And then I was like, dude, my sister knows like these jazz standards now. My younger sister, because of Lefe. Like this is incredible.
Right.
Same with like Olivia Rodrigo. She does like sort of punk stuff now, and like my sister's now like open to this new world of music because of
Interesting.
Olivia
Oh.
Rodrigo.
Yeah.
I really appreciate, even though I don't listen to that a
Right.
ton. I really think that's cool.
Yeah, because everyone needs their own like entry point into something.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah. So like we weren't around when jazz when it was at its peak. So for someone
Yeah.
now, it's someone like what's her name? Luffy.
I think it's Luffy. I think it's Luffy.
I know. There's like a hard V in there. There's a hard V in there for sure.
I'm gonna look it up after.
I think it's closer to that Lefe.
Dang.
Okay, we're gonna after this episode we're gonna look it up and you can correct
What
it
if
in the
after
visuals.
the episode, you look it up, and then I'm gonna say it once like Lefe,
It's pronounced Löwe.
and then you'll just put that over every time we say.
But anyways,
Lefe.
It's pronounced Löwe.
that's intense, dude. That's wow. I like that. It's like a reverse rabbit hole. Like in my head, I would be like, how do you get from Olivia Rodrigo to something a little more like punk or edgy?
Yeah,
Right.
like grunge, serious grunge.
Yeah, I'm like, how would you do that? But I guess because of the internet, you can really look up.
Mm-hmm.
There's so many like just
Like
adjacent.
whoever is writing on that session that she like brought
Right.
in,
Yeah.
like is with this person. This
Like I feel that rabbit hole has grown so much more compared to when like I was younger. We didn't have like that archive of what was new around.
Mm.
You had like to rely heavily on like social media, so like MySpace or Facebook
Mhm.
to hear the word. And it wasn't even with your friends, it was groups that you were a part of. So you'd be a part of like I love metal group on Facebook, right? Am I right? Am I
I
wrong?
think so. I think
Yeah, and then people there would share like music, but like, oh, this band fucking rocks,
so. Okay.
and it's like something niche, and then it goes on from there and there. That's what I felt like. Like the way I got into, like, I don't really listen to a lot of rap or R&B or whatever, like at all, really. I mean, I do listen to. Well, I take that back. I probably listen to more than Luca for sure,
Mhm.
Oh
like-
damn.
for sure.
Oh damn.
But my like playing field, my home base is like post-hardcore, which is this very I don't know, it's like you're either really embarrassed to say that or you're like, fuck yeah, like I don't give a shit. Because the way I found out about that was through Limewire. When we would download.
What is that? I don't even know what that is.
No, he's
Really? You don't?
playing with us.
No, I don't.
He's playing with us.
What
dude.
is this? No.
LimeWire. Tell
I'm out of touch.
tell the people.
Oh my gosh, I love Limewire. So
LimeWire.
back in the day when we had dial-up.
Fuck.
What is
I
dial-up?
hated that shit. You know what? No, you know what dial-up is?
Oh.
You know when you're we all have 5G.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
When you're in an area where your shit drops to 3G, that's dial-up,
Oh.
and it takes forever to load any one thing. That's dial-up.
Huh.
So imagine that all the time. Anytime you get on the internet, that.
It would take a solid like hour or few hours to like download one song.
Yeah,
Nice.
yeah.
Dude, now I could do it in one.
Literally.
Yeah, in like 5 seconds. I would leave my computer on all night so I could download like 6 songs. So in the morning, I would
Yes.
have those 6 fucking songs in my
Yes.
MP3 player.
Dude, there's something more. Honestly, there's something cooler about that, though.
Really?
Like having to wait for something, being like, oh shit, when this like, I'm gonna wake up
Anticipation.
tomorrow morning and I'm gonna have my 6 songs. I waited all night because now I could just like whatever,
Yeah.
Yeah.
whatever I want to listen.
And
I
these
could.
weren't always new songs too. Like some of these songs would have been out for like years, maybe a
Right.
Yeah.
year. You know what I mean? But the scenes, I feel like music scenes in the early to mid like 2010s. I'm sorry, in the early 2000s even. The scenes were way more like detached, and so like I said,
Oh,
like,
yeah,
it's
definitely.
harder to find them or to figure out where everything is.
Because there wasn't the place to go to.
Yeah, there wasn't a place
Yeah.
to go to. Like I said, we didn't have that archive of suggestions.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Because now you can go like on Spotify at the bottom it says
Oh
like,
yeah,
similar
people listen
artists.
to, and then has related artists and
yeah.
so on. But yeah, back then there wasn't that. You had to go look for each artist. Like go to the
Dude, I love
Wikipedia.
that. That is so cool to me.
Yeah.
The hunt, you gotta want it. You
Yeah.
gotta be passionate.
So that's the thing. So you're the perfect person to ask. So we grew up like loving the hunt. You'd find an artist.
Yeah.
You go through the Wikipedia. Who else did they play with? And you would go out of your way to find those like related artists.
That's incredible.
So for you, do people do that?
No, dude.
They don't hunt for things.
I mean, I do.
Okay.
Every time I listen to a song, I hit the credits and I look at like who's drumming on this.
Right.
Who recorded this? Do I know anybody that knows this person?
Right.
Like I love that. I love that so much. Like the hunt, and then what's really fascinating now is you're like everybody knows everyone. Like all these guys know each other.
Right.
Like I imagine it's this for the hardcore stuff too, but for like the music I'm really into right now, which is like this kind
What
of
are you
folky
into?
singer-songwriter stuff. I'll like hit credits and I'll see who's drumming. I'll be like, oh, I saw this person drum with this person, and then I saw this person played guitar on this, and this was engineered by here. And I like am looking on their Instagram and like who are they following?
Yeah.
So like I'm obsessed with that. Like I love that. But like no one, I don't think anybody else, like not just your average listener is
Right.
doing that. But I think everybody that's like obsessed
Yeah.
and loves it,
That's a good word.
like obsessed.
Yeah.
That was the most like.
So you're closer to like that high school period than we are.
Yeah.
So when you were in high school, would you say that it was normal for people to not like be obsessed and go out of the way to find all this information?
I think there's a niche for like in certain crowds. Like the thing that I do really love about the hardcore like community is that there is a community. Like, if I was to say like the R&B community, I'm like, where am I?
Yeah, there isn't one
That's
in that same
true.
way.
That's
Yeah.
not a thing. There is for the folky singer-songwriter stuff, but like when I was in high school, that wasn't like a thing. Or like there's a certain type of person that loves this community and music, and they all kind of stick together. I love that. I love that. That's everyone's passionate. Maybe I don't know. I love that though.
What was this scene like where you grew up? Was there a scene?
Yeah, it's just hardcore music.
Oh shit.
There's a really big hardcore scene in Sacramento.
Okay.
That's true.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
Like Sacramento has a lot of hardcore music. There's this venue called the Colonial. It's pretty much just like hardcore music,
Oh,
or if
shit.
not that, then it's like punk or some sort of grungy
Oh shit.
Wow.
music. Like they're not having like no pianos are hitting that stage,
Right.
if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Like, there's not an acoustic guitar coming by there. So that's like a big thing in Sacramento. But there's of course more, but like
Yeah.
there's a lot of that.
So would you say that music was prominent, or did you have to go and like look for it?
The hardcore stuff, or what I'm into.
The hardcore stuff.
Yeah, I wasn't really familiar. I didn't know what hardcore was, or that was a really thing
Yeah.
until like pretty recently. Like I was just out of touch with like that
Kind of music.
Yeah, I didn't. I refer to it like to Curbs all the time as this is a joke, but like spooky music
Yeah.
or like violent music.
Yeah.
Because I have a friend that's in a hardcore band, and I went to a
Nice.
show, and it was like very violent.
It can be.
Everyone
yeah.
was hitting each other. I was like,
Yeah, they do. Yeah.
I came with a little purple beanie cuff, and I was
Yeah.
wearing like skinny jeans and
Yeah.
Wait, if he
flowers.
existed 15 years ago, they would be like, kick that guy's ass.
Yeah, dude,
Yeah.
seriously.
Am I right?
Yeah.
I was sticking out there like crazy.
Yeah.
I was not meant to be in
Yeah,
that room.
you've been to house shows, right? We've been
Yeah,
to house shows
yeah.
together, I'm pretty sure,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Yeah, like they they throw down at those shows.
Yeah, it's no joking matter. There's
Yeah.
no playing around at that.
Yeah.
So
Pretty
you
incredible.
weren't into that music, but
No.
would you say like your people knew of that music? Your friends knew about it?
No, not at all.
No.
Not at all.
Okay.
Like my friends in like high school, they had good music taste, but it was like kind of more pop, just like what's going on.
Okay.
Like
Yeah.
you know, whatever like top 50, or if not that, then it's like something adjacent where it's like Noah Kahan, who's like that sort of thing. I can't recall artists like Mumford and Sons, like that sort of stuff
Yeah.
was like really popular, kind of granola-y music was a thing with my friends.
Canola.
But I was like really into like the R&B and jazz stuff. I like had a little bit of a niche with like what I liked,
When you say R&B, what's R&B?
like D'Angelo,
Oh, okay. There we go.
voodoo,
Okay.
like neo soul sort of music.
Okay.
Yeah,
So like,
like the Daniel Caesar stuff is adjacent to me. I consider that R&B too. Yeah.
would Erykah Badu been a part of that?
Yeah, exactly. Like that's my shit. I love that. I love that music.
Okay. So I think you're also the perfect person to ask. A discussion in like the larger music world is that local scenes don't exist the way they used to. We were probably at like the tail end of that.
Yeah.
I completely disagree now.
Okay.
As of like 2 days ago.
Because I hear, usually when I hear this, it's from like older people.
Yeah.
They're like, man, music scenes don't exist anymore.
Because they're just not in it, man.
You touched on this
Yeah.
on our own. So the dominant music for a long time was like rock and roll.
Yeah,
And so it's inherently part of like that. There's a culture to it.
totally.
Part of it was like you go and find live music, whether it's like a backyard show, at a bar, at a club. It's part of the thing. And not every music has that. There's always like a live aspect to it, but it is not
Yeah.
always like that important. But as rock was declining in like the 2010s to now, because not every music space has a live component to it,
Yeah.
for a lot of people, it seemed like there just weren't shows to go to.
Mm-hmm.
So, but you're saying that's not entirely accurate.
No, I think as of very recently, like I hang out with like two circles of musicians. There's like this Filipino R&B community that I've gotten really close to. There's a huge community with like Filipino R&B music, and there's a huge crowd for it. You could put on a house show and like people will show up.
Interesting.
And it's incredible.
Wow.
Or there's like the folk circle. There's very close community of like musicians, and it's not like hard to break into this. Everyone's very friendly, very sweet. So
Mm.
I don't know. Like there's not like you just have to go to show. You got to love music, and then there's totally community. You'll see the same people that love music at whatever shows. But you're saying it's hard to find shows?
That's what the older people are saying. And
Interesting.
so for me, luckily for me, like I like a lot of things.
Yeah.
So I can find almost anything I want to.
Like
find.
bands are not touring like they used to, like old bands? Is that what you're saying? Or
I actually don't even follow bands. Like I love electronic music.
yeah. Like EDM sort of stuff? Or
Yeah. So I can find like a underground rave to go to. I love hip hop stuff. And luckily I live in LA too.
yeah.
So I can go find
That's the thing. We're like blessed. There's so
I can
much.
go find those things. I can find something more niche too. But again, that's just me. I know where to look, and I like a lot of things.
Yeah.
But again, like the older people are saying that like shows are going away, and that's why I'm like, well, like I see it all the time because I like a lot
Yeah.
of things. But so I'm
Totally.
asking you,
I don't know. My job is like putting on shows. So maybe I'm a little biased, but
okay,
I mean, all the people that I like play shows, and like I love playing shows myself. So
Yeah.
I make opportunities for myself to play. Like I'll put on concerts for my friends so that I can also like open for them. Like, hey, I'll help you set this up. And then I'll also happen to play. I would say like every week I'd be able to hit a show.
If we go back to like you in high school,
Yeah.
is that a thing you and like people would do, like go to shows on Saturdays?
No, not really. I like refell in love with music during COVID. When COVID happened, I was a junior in high school, and it was like I had all that time to like rediscover music and really fall in love with it and creating music. And then I started going to shows. I remember when COVID went away, I bought like when everyone announced their tour. Not COVID went away because it was still but like
When the restrictions were lifted.
yeah, when people started touring like years later, I think it was like 2 years later. I think there's 8 tours I bought tickets to. I went to 8 concerts in 2 months.
Yeah.
And it was like, we lived in Sacramento, but the concerts were all in San Francisco and Santa Cruz.
Yeah.
Every week I would drive to San Francisco, which was like 2.5 hours. And I would go and then I'd drive back home. And I was like, this is giving me life. This is so good.
That's so cool.
And after that, I started planning my own shows because I was like, I need to do that. That's awesome. It's so fun.
So you said you were a junior when quarantine happened?
Yes. Yeah.
Were you in danger of having to repeat junior year?
No, it was pretty much my junior year ended. We went on to a winter break that got extended by 2 weeks,
Hell yeah.
and we were all stoked. And then we're like, the rest of the year was canceled, pretty much. And then with that, or maybe it was spring break, I forget what it was, but it was definitely spring break. Then for the rest of the year, I didn't do any schoolwork at all. They were like, your grade stays. You can, if you're like need to get it, you can follow along with like online school pretty much to just keep up. But I was passing all my classes. I was like,
So you didn't have to.
I didn't do anything. I literally left it. It was killer. I was so stoked. And then next year we did, we started off distance learning and then we did the hybrid. And I had a really good time doing it. I loved it. Me and my friends, like I had this close group of friends that we would like go to Tahoe on Tuesday because we all didn't have school. We had like our schedules lined up perfectly. So we had a great senior year.
You did the hybrid thing?
Yeah. Which like on paper that sucks. Like it sucked.
Right.
But like my friend group really took advantage of it. Like there's awful stuff going on, but we're like went and saw cool nature stuff. It was fun.
Dang, that's cool.
Yeah.
I ask because I would hear these stories of like certain school districts considering holding people back because they didn't know what to do.
Yeah. That's scary. I
Yeah.
that didn't really cross my mind. I think that was the first year I like tried in school.
Yeah.
And so I like did okay. But like all the other years I like was failing. And I had to,
same.
like, last minute like catch up.
Same.
It was so sketch. Such a horrible way to live. I don't know why I did that to myself.
Good God.
Looking
It
back,
was
yeah.
so stressful.
Looking back, yeah.
I'm like, why did I do that? Every year I'd just be stressed for like 3 weeks that I like horrible.
Yeah.
I wish I didn't do that.
For me, it was because I knew, like I kind of sort of knew what I wanted to do growing up. So I knew that like this level of math I would never need. And you can go deeper into it. Like the history we learn in school, like it gets more interesting, but you don't learn that until after high school. Had they taught that stuff during high school, like it probably would have been different. Would have been more engaged, but a lot of stuff we were learning, I knew like I wouldn't need. Like I knew I was a creative person even then.
Yeah.
So I'm like, my mentality was like, why do I even care?
Wow.
Which like, you know.
I have kind of a twisted view on it too because I had the same thing.
Yeah.
Like the exact same perspective. I was like, I'm going to end up doing this or this. And then when I rediscovered music, I was like, oh shit, like if I want to go to a serious music school, I'm not going to get in. Which that was kind of out of the picture for me because I already had like kind of a school set up with my parents working at a university, which I'm very blessed for. But I was like, if I did want to go to like Berkeley or Juilliard or wherever, I don't think I'm going to get it. Or USC, that's like the big music schools. Like the kids rip at USC. And I wouldn't be able to get into that. no
Right.
shot. And I was like, I totally blew that if that was a thing,
Right.
which I'm glad I didn't. It worked out for me. I wish I did take it seriously, just in case.
Same.
It was just less stress. I was so stressed, like last minute being like,
Am I gonna pass or not?
so stressful.
Yeah.
Oh, it's horrible. Why'd I do that?
But it's what you do at that age, you know.
Totally, yeah.
Apparently.
Live and you learned.
Actually, so he did really well for most of high school.
Yeah, I did not have the same experience
Yeah.
as you too. I feared my parents more than I feared
Yeah. Dude, I
my
like,
future. No, yeah, I maintained like a 3.5 to 3.7 like
Yeah.
come on now.
for 3 years at least.
You did?
Yeah.
And then senior year,
Uh-huh.
Tell him.
Oh, no.
senior year I crashed out.
He
bro.
did crash. I see.
Yeah. Hey.
Dude was just like fuck everything and it's like
Yeah.
that was my rebellious phase, right? Like that was like my rebellious phase.
Yeah, in that sense, he was a late bloomer to like
Yeah.
that high school angst, where like you don't care about anything and you're very like emotional.
Yeah.
So that happened to him all at the end of senior year. All of it was crammed into 1 year.
Yes.
Oh, that sounds like probably the gnarliest time to have that.
Yeah.
I mean, high school already sucks, but like
yeah.
about to go into the big world and then
Yeah. Tell me about it, dude. It's just like the hormones are insane.
yeah.
Yeah, I got really involved in like music scenes and stuff like that. Like hardcore scenes. And I loved it. Like I loved it made me feel valid because I saw other men
Uh-huh.
be like express their emotions
Mm.
and it wasn't
It wasn't lame. It wasn't weak.
There you go.
Yeah.
so I've always struggled with my own masculinity until recently, like 4 years ago maybe. Always insecure about like the things I like or how I come off as a man.
Uh-huh.
So yeah, like I just fell into that scene and I was just like 17, 18 and I was like, fuck this place, bro.
Yeah.
But like in the most cringiest way though,
Oh
because
man.
Because it was all crammed at once.
because it was like, bro, you're 18. Why are you having this face right now? Like
You're an illegal adult, you know. Yeah, that's awesome.
yeah, and then I got into my first like real relationship ever and it just like changed my life.
It did.
That'll do it.
Come on. You're 18. You're horny as hell. You have like
Mm.
you're in a relationship that's an adult relationship.
Dude.
Yeah.
I can do whatever the hell I want.
We could
dude.
get married
Like,
tomorrow.
for real. Yeah, like who's stopping us?
Yeah.
I just don't have the money for it.
Yeah.
But yeah, that relationship ended horribly.
Oh man.
Oh, dang.
Yeah, they were cheating on me for like quite a while, and it destroyed me. It destroyed me. I remember like I think to this day I will still say it. Well, no, second to this. This feeling is second to something else. But I would always say like the worst pain I ever felt in my life was like when that relationship ended.
Mm.
Like finding out that somebody was like loving somebody else for like 6 months or so, and it's like it's a crazy feeling because like you feel so dedicated to this one person, and it's like a knife to the heart. Like
I can't even imagine.
it just solidified
So
like
heavy.
my emo like personality.
whatever insecurity you had.
Yeah,
It's
I
just yeah.
Yeah, and so after that, yeah, it's just my life began like insane crazy life began. Anyways, how did we get here?
I forget. Hardcore, emo, 18.
Because I couldn't relate to you guys because of school.
Oh, yes.
Oh, right,
yes.
yeah.
So on my senior year, I barely graduated because I could not pass Algebra 2. I took Algebra 2 like for 2 semesters. I could not pass it. And my teacher was so chill. He was just like, he just gave me a D plus or whatever, which is what I
Yeah.
needed to graduate.
There you
Tell
go.
them what you used to do in that class.
From what I remember, I would just draw.
What were you doing? I didn't know you
I was
do
just
that.
drawing.
Like cool stuff? Was that a side
Yeah,
passion?
I was really into like abstract art.
I didn't know that.
Because like at that time I had learned about stream of consciousness. So I was just like thought that I was so fucking cool. I was like, I'm drawing my stream of consciousness. People would like look at me.
Sick.
People would be like, whoa, dude, what are you drawing? And I'm like, I don't know. And they'd be like, oh, it kind of looks like this. And I'd be like, I know. Like that's why I did it that way.
Yeah.
And I'd be like, that's what I do.
Dude,
Like
you
you
were
can
sick
look at
as
it.
shit. You were sick.
You can look at it from any perspective and be like, I see something new. And I was like, that's what I want people to think when they look at my art.
Yeah. You were that guy.
So cringy,
You were
dude.
that guy.
Instead of
Dude, I
learn
wish
math,
I knew you. That was
Instead
awesome.
of learn math,
It's algebra.
do you remember this kid named Billy?
I think so.
You remember him?
I think so.
I don't know if I've told you this. I've probably told you this a million times, but I feel like I've told everybody this story a million times.
Tell him.
Me and Billy would almost always have math class
Billy.
every year in high school, like freshman, sophomore, junior, senior. We had math class together. But we wouldn't hang out really like anywhere else. Like we would not hang out like during lunch. Sometimes he would be like, we would be adjacent to them, but they weren't
Mhm.
like in our circle. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But me and Billy always had math class. And we got like close to each other because he was like a nerd too, right? Like he was well, actually he wasn't a nerd. He was more like a geek because he also sucked at math.
Yeah.
And he would get more shit for it because he was Asian.
Yeah.
Everybody would be like, "What the fuck, Billy? You're Asian."
Billy.
And he'd be like, "Shut up!" But he was just as bad at math as me. But he sat to the right of me during that class. That we drawn and everything. And our math teacher was this like a Nigerian man, like first gen Nigerian man, thick accent, and dude, I couldn't understand half the things he was saying when he was teaching math, man. I was just like, that's why part of the reason I gave up during that class. I was like, I can't even hear what the fuck he's saying. But he would always pick on Billy,
Billy.
who sat to the right of me. Billy was like a chubby
Rest in peace, Billy.
Chinese kid. Billy is alive. He was this chubby Chinese kid. And our teacher would always pick on him. He'd be like, Billy. like that. Billy. What is the answer, Billy? Like that. I kid you not. And Billy wouldn't know. And then he would be like, come on, Billy. like I taught you this. You still don't know the answer?
Billy, come on.
But he would like always pick on him and everybody would just laugh.
Oh,
It
that's
sucks,
awesome.
dude.
Damn.
But he got it. He wasn't like, sad over it. He
Yeah.
was like, he's gonna give us a D+ to graduate, so I don't give a fuck. He can pick
Yeah.
on me all he wants.
We'll be all right.
Yeah.
I'll be all right.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Oh my gosh. I hated community college though.
I
Why?
didn't go.
You like community college?
I mean, well, we'll start. Why didn't you like?
Because
it?
that was just the beginning of the like steep decline of my mental health. Like
Oh, that'll do it. That'll do it.
Steep climb.
What was it? Community college that drove that?
It was the freedom.
The freedom?
It was the freedom to do whatever I wanted. Like I didn't have to go to every class. I didn't even have to. I was getting paid FAFSA, right, to go to community college. Do you think a fucking 19-year-old's gonna be like, I'm gonna use all this money for my books?
Yeah.
Right.
Bro, I used that shit for concert tickets. We were going to concerts like every week,
You're living
and
the life.
I was skipping class like often.
Yeah.
And my girlfriend and I went to the same school. We would just skip class, tell her parents that we went. We didn't. We would just go back to her house and have sex because they would be at work.
Dude, you're a demon.
That was like my most like
That's
just
awesome.
rebellious phase. My mental health declined so much. Like I
Oh,
said, like
man. Yeah.
yeah, I wasn't allowed to do a lot growing up at all. Like my parents were very strict,
Mm.
very strict.
Yeah.
I could only have certain people over my house.
Ooh.
And he was one of them. There was only like 2 other people who were allowed to come.
Did you have to pass a test to be allowed, or what? Gave
No,
you the
no, they
exception?
just
Actually, yeah, how did that work though? Because I didn't know that until after the fact.
know what.
Like, why was I the chosen one or one of the chosen ones?
I think just because we were, I think because you just looked funny to my parents. No, because you've always been really tall.
Yeah.
And you just look funny. So my parents would be like, this kid's not a threat. Like, this kid's not going to teach my son
Yeah.
like, to do drugs or some shit. Like
Right.
that. My parents were like,
little did
And a
they
sleepless
know. No, man. That's awesome.
so yeah, just the freedom. And then having like a sexually active relationship at like 19. Just, I don't think, no adolescent should have access to that. That's like
Yeah.
so dangerous.
Right.
That's crazy.
And I just became like a worse and a worse person. It's just like,
Same.
you know what I mean? Just like
Crashed out.
crashing out in the worst. I needed to be regulated, like, you know.
You need
So
to be
it-
monitored.
I
bro.
need to be monitored, dude. I needed needed to go to detention or something.
Yeah, you need a spanking.
Scared straight, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But the irony was that like he was a very well-behaved kid prior to that.
I think that probably
Incredible.
is
So it all just
why.
came out at once.
That's
needed to.
insane, dude.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
insane because I wouldn't have come to that conclusion until like just very recently.
Hmm.
So that you're talking like
Because I don't know. You can cut this out if you want. So I wasn't there for this, but we had mutual friends. And this one time, I get to class, and he was usually like in this class because we had a group. He was like always so talkative, and usually like I remember him just being like a normal person. He identifies now as like introverted. By the time he wasn't like that introverted, or maybe because he was around us. So anyway, we get into class and like he was unusually quiet that day, and I don't know if I brought it up. Someone mentioned that he got yelled at in a prior class, and because he was a well-behaved kid, that like maybe had never happened to him, so he took it really hard.
Dude, that was like a just normal Tuesday for me.
I'm definitely keeping that in. That was intense. I have no recollection of that.
Yeah, I don't know who the teacher was, but
Wow. I wonder what I did.
I was such a troublemaker. I was always getting yelled at.
Yeah,
I was sitting outside often.
Really?
For like
Yeah.
dumb stuff. It was like, Luca, please be quiet. And I'd be like, I can't. And I like had a giggle that I like could not keep in. It was so dumb.
were you like a
I was just
Like
always
a-
giggling.
class clown or like a real delinquent?
I was a little bit of a little jerk.
Wow.
I hated my little me. Little me sucked. He was just
I
seeking
mean-
the
Yeah, I understand.
horrible.
But yeah. How did we even get here now?
Because you're an overachiever.
Because what?
Oh yeah.
You're an overachiever,
Am I?
and so
We've never said that. We've never established that.
yeah,
prior-
remember we didn't do
We're
good in school.
saying in school.
Oh, I wasn't overachieving. I got 3.5, 3.7. That's
Hey.
not overachieving. Both my sisters, incredibly smart. The oldest sister next to me, she graduated with like 4.0, right?
Yeah.
Got a scholarship to Cal Poly, right? Just
Whoa.
a genius, like a
Yeah.
genius. My youngest sister, she got like higher than 4.0, which
Dude.
I didn't know you could get.
You're allowed to do that.
Yeah. And she got like honors and all that. Like when you graduate, you look at the
Couldn't believe
brochure.
it.
It has like
Yeah.
these symbols next to her name.
Yeah.
She had like 3 out of the 5 symbols.
So
Party.
crazy.
And now she goes to UC Irvine. Like
Damn. Yeah.
That's crazy.
that's insane. So excuse me for being an overachiever.
We forgive you. Hey, we forgive you on this one.
Well, that's-
All this because we were talking about Limewire.
Oh, I actually had something to
Whoa.
add to that.
Yeah, go ahead.
So you really don't know what LimeWire is?
No.
Okay, so that was the way people usually got their music. And if you ever like get into like the lore of like getting music through the internet, LimeWire comes up a lot. It was like a benchmark in the way people got music. Like now you have streaming. Right before that you had YouTube. So a lot of people don't know this, but before LimeWire there was Kazaa. Literally the same thing. You type in an artist, find the right file, download it, and then wait all night to get your songs.
That's awesome.
But in
Something
the
about that
canon-
sounds so cool.
Yeah, but in the canon of music history, people don't know about that one, but it predates LimeWire. And I know about that because, so, you don't know these things until you're older, but because of my stepdad, I was exposed to a lot at a younger age. So, like, I knew how to use computer before most people did. I knew about Kazaa before anyone even knew how to use computer, let alone get music online. So I knew that you could acquire music without buying it.
Ooh, a little piracy.
When we were kids, we were at the tail end of like buying music. So by the time we got to like middle school and high school, like no one bought music.
I think I still bought music when I was like in middle school.
So
Yeah,
I did
on
too,
iTunes
but
store.
it was because you were a fan, right? Like you loved this shit.
Not really. Like when I was like little, I was just like, well, I got an Apple gift card, so I guess I have to buy like iTunes song. Or
Interesting.
you know,
Oh.
that's probably like middle school for me. But it'd be like some random pop song that'd be like
Yeah.
now my alarm for like a month
Yeah.
until I got sick of it for 129.
Wow.
Whatever.
It's funny you say that. So your junior year was 2020, right?
Yeah,
So by that point,
Wait.
Spotify.
I think so.
Okay. So by that point, Spotify has already peaked. It's in the zeitgeist. Everyone
Yeah.
streams music. But just a couple of years prior, you were buying music?
Nah, no, maybe I'm getting this a little mixed. I had I iPod Touch at some point, It gets a little fuzzy because I wasn't really allowed to have one. I remember I bought it, I think, in like the end of 6th grade or something.
You bought it off someone?
No, I like saved all my money from Christmas and then my birthday and then the next Christmas and then the next birthday.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
'Cause I like really wanted it. And then my friends were like, nope, not allowed. It's no.
Oh my
I was so bummed.
Yeah.
And then eventually we're like, all right, there's restrictions we can put on this.
Yeah.
But then at that point I bought like some music. To me, that I love that. The like Hunt, like Limewire Hunt, that sounds so cool. That's what like vinyl is cool again.
Yeah.
For that same, I think. I don't know. Maybe it's kids just want to like hang it on their wall, but
No, it's definitely the desire to go back to analog for sure.
yeah, I love that. I love that.
Hey everyone, Curbs here. We had a lot of fun in this episode, and so we just want to give a special thanks to Luca for making himself available to have this conversation. Let us know if you liked this episode, and we'll probably release a part 2 soon. As always, thank you so much for your support, and we'll see you on the next one.